So I have this Vizio here. The customer said quit working after a thunderstorm, and plug it in. The light down here turns on, but let me hit the power button. It doesn't do anything. So take it apart and see. So you've got 14 screws like this. They go all the way around the edge, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, 3 on both sides. And then you got 8 screws down here, and they're longer screws than the ones that go around the edge. So you got 8 screws just along this bottom section right there. Then you got these short, stubby, fat, thin thread screws that go, you got 3 of them that go 1, 2, 3 right there. Alright, and you got these 3 screws that go in, one there, and one there. And you want to make sure you take this off of here before you can get the cover off. And you got 4 of these thin thread screws that go in. You got 2 there, and you got 2 here. So just doing some general troubleshooting on it first. Verifying the power supply. Verified that there was 5 volts out. Of these first 3 pins. There's 5 volts. It says right down here what it's supposed to be. And then there's nothing out on the others, so I had to jumper to the power supply on pin, which is the very last one, to one of the 5 volt pins to turn on the power supply. And then I started to get the 12 volts out, which is the 3 pins next to the power supply on. I was able to verify that there is 12 volts coming out. In order to get the inverter to kick on so that you can see the backlight, I had to jumper 5 volts to on-off inverter over here. On-off inverter, which is the second pin in from the right. So jumper that to 5 volts, and your backlight comes on. Your inverters get power and the backlight comes on. So right there, verified the power supply is good. So that just leaves this main board here to troubleshoot. And you got these 2 screws. One goes right there and another one goes right there. This short screw that goes in this corner down there. And you got these 2 long silver screws. One goes here and the other one goes down in there. And then when we're done, you want to make sure this silver tape here, this metal tape, goes back onto this shield and connects it to the ground plane here. These 3 screws in right there. Okay, so I took this board off before I showed you what to unplug. So you're going to have wires going to these 2 plugs up here, and for these all you have to do is just pull on the wire and then it'll come out. You have a ribbon cable going to this plug right here, and there's a thin strip on top of that plug. You just got to get your fingernail under, then you can pop it up and then you can pull the ribbon cable out. Then you got 2 wire harnesses plugged in right here. You just grab onto those and pull on them and they'll unplug. Okay, so I found multiple shorts coming from this VGA port to this processor chip right here. One of them is this point on this chip is shorted to ground, and then multiple data lines coming from the VGA are shorted to ground. That one, That one's good. That one's fine. That one's shorted. There's another shorted one. There's another shorted. So multiple grounds going from the VGA to that processor. So this processor is shorted to ground and multiple data lines, and I have no means to replace this chip, so I'm going to have to replace the entire board. So when that thunderstorm occurred, lightning must have come through this VGA port and caused the shorts to ground in that processor chip. Okay, so I got a used main board off of eBay. It cost me $36, and hopefully it's a good one. I examined all the capacitors to make sure they weren't bent over and leads broke or something like that. Looks good, and I've had pretty good luck with used boards off eBay, so let's give it a shot. I did have to transfer this plate over to the new board, and there's just a couple screws in between these RCA cables right there and there. Okay, so I have it plugged in. The Vizio lit up orange, so that's a good sign. Let's hit the power button.
Now can I turn my TV on?
Nope, just a second. Alright, we're almost there. Okay, looks good. Yep, looks like we got it fixed.